Tikina teka tewali teka liba limenyeddwa. Tebayogedde ku bukyamu bwonna buli mu nteekateeka zaffe ez'erira. N'olw'ensonga eyo newankubadde tusazeewo obutagenda ggulu olwaleero olw'ensonga nti esinga obukulu nti ne bannaffe bakyali mu kkomera, twagala tulabe nga bafuna eddembe lyabwe baveeyo tugende mu maaso ate n'enkola zaffe ze tubadde tulina okukola. Tetugenda genda lugulu leero naye nkya tubakakasa nti tugenda lira kubanga yo consultation yaffe efaanana ng'eri cleared. N'obugambo bassebo ne banyabo nja beebaza nsabe ne bannange okuva ku Comrade Flavia,
which was non the position yesterday. We thank our legal team that was able to influence the release of all the political prisoners in Nagarama police station yesterday, and we are still calling upon the police to release the political prisoners of people power that were taken in yesterday at Kasangati police station that they are still holding captive. As the principal has mentioned, as people power and as the people power women wing, we are still set on the consultations, embarking on the consultations that we had talked about. Unfortunately, today will not be possible for the Gulu team, but we shall secure another day when we shall go to Gulu. I call upon all the people in Lira, where we shall be tomorrow, having fulfilled most of the requirements that the police thinks we hadn't fulfilled, that please attend in big numbers, especially the women. I know some of us, what really stops us is the fear of the violence, fear of the unknown, and fear of engaging. But like I told you, we know that most women attain information very easily from public rallies. So if you fail to be part of the consultation meetings, which we are going to hold in your different districts, that means your voices as women and young women will not be captured in the manifesto. And yet we need to have, we as people power, we are working towards a gender responsive and gender sensitive manifesto for our 2021 elections. So we call upon you all to be confident enough to attend these consultation meetings and tell us exactly what you want us to address as the people power movement in our manifesto within your regions. Basebo ne banyabo tubebaza okutwegatako leero nti leero tuli n'abamu ku bakulembeze baffe ababadde bakwatiddwa eggulo we twayogeredde ne bannamawulire okusingira ddala omukulembeze waffe Honorable Robert Chagulanyi Bobi Wine. Tuli basanyufu nti era enteekateeka zaffe ez'okwebuuza ku bantu zigenda kweyongera mu maaso. Ababadde balooza nti tuweddemu amaanyi tupondoose twayogedde bya Swakawa mudde mulowooze kubanga people power twabagamba si ffe, people power si yeffe, people power yemmwe ate be bantu. Abantu batugambye baagala tubeebuuzeeko nga tetulina mbeera gye tutunuulidde. N'olwekyo leero tetugenda kusobola kubeera eggulu nga bwe twabadde tuteeseteese olw'embeera eziteebereka ate n'okusingira ddala poliisi jo yatulumbye wano ku kitebe kyaffe kya people power ne babba n'ebintu byaffe ebimu bye tusobola okukozesa bye tubadde tuteekateeka okukozesa mu kwebuuza ku bantu. So poliisi ya Uganda nayo tugivunaana kubanga mwatubbye wano ku kitebe kyaffe, mulina okuzza ebintu bye mwatutte ate ekyo kitukosezaamu kutambula leero okugenda eggulu. Naye nkya tulirira abakyala mwenna naddala n'abawala mbakoowoola nnyo kubanga nze abavunaanyizibwako mujje mwegatte mu nkuŋŋaana zino ez'okubeebuuzaako ku biki bye mwandiyagadde people power etunuulire nnyo era eteekeko essira mu manifesto yaffe eya 2021. Kigenda kubeera kibi nnyo eddoboozi lyo eritawulirwa oba ensonga ezituluma nga etuzimanyi bwe zitabeeramu. Twagala tubeere ne people power etunuulira buli omu okusinziira mu kiti kye naddala nga tuteeka essira ku nsonga z'abakyala. Mwejjeemu okwetya, mwejjeemu okwenyooma, mwejjeemu okugamba nti mmwe tebibakwatako kubanga tuliwo kwebeereramu ffenna. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to join my colleagues in welcoming you to this press briefing. The laws made by Parliament or laws of common sense or laws of civility and common decency. Even where the Electoral Commission and the police have made pronouncements that are contrary to the law, we have pushed them to the level of temptation in that we have complied with them, but they are not in a position to comply with their own regulations, made rather outside the law. The first was about open ground. Let me clarify that being in an open ground, having an open rally, is not contrary to the laws of this country, is not contrary to the laws of common sense, and is permissible for political purposes, because you cannot determine how many people I shall consult and the mode of my consultation. The second is when we agreed to have a meeting in an open place, but in an enclosed tent. They thought we could not afford it, of course, having impoverished the people of Uganda. We provided the same, and they had changed their mind. They said, we want mobile toilets, even when they sit in those roundabouts without facilities. We said we shall provide them. They said, we need an ambulance. And we provided 5 ambulances, which, again, they could not comply with. Now, following the arrest of our principal and other comrades, they were, up to the time of releasing them on police bond, they could not spell out the charges against them. Now, we understand they have resorted to arresting each and every person that comes their way, including one of our lawyers, Ms. Shamim Malende, who went to rescue the team in Kasangati as a lawyer, pure as a lawyer. And in a show of might, not right, they decided to harass her and eventually bundle her into their cells. We condemn this in the strongest terms possible, but we shall continue to fight. We do not expect Mr. Museveni to lay a good bed for us. So we shall win our freedom. Now, the message to the president is very simple. The police, the army, the paramilitary, and all these idlers that you have picked from the streets and turned into state operatives, as they describe themselves, will not save you. There are just 3 things that will save you, Mr. President. The first is truth. The second is wisdom. Do what wise men do. And the third is you must allow us our freedom. Of course, the invasion of last night was illegal because they never notified us that they would be invading our offices. They stole a number of items, papers, logistical material that we were supposed to use in Gulu, and quite a number of others. But to our supporters across the country, don't worry. They were not able to steal the sensitive information because we do not hide it in offices and houses. It is up in the sky. This is digital era, and you only need to be M7 not to know this. So, finally, ladies and gentlemen, we shall continue with our pursuit for democracy in this country. We shall do everything within the law to achieve our goals. You've seen how we've managed to expose them to the extent now that they have banished meetings in our private homes. So that to be with me, to discuss politics with me, I give assurance to our supporters across the country and the globe, that is not going to happen. We're going to continue doing conventional and unconventional things because, trust me, we are good at innovation. Whether they like it or not, we shall do consultations, and we shall do consultations our way, not their way. For the comrades that are incarcerated to the extent that somebody can slip this information to them, we stand with them. And we will leave no stone unturned until they are out, until they are enjoying their freedoms, and until Ugandans are enjoying their freedoms. We do not want so many things, by the way, from this old man. One, we want power. But before power, we want the freedom to get that power. And we're not asking him to grant us that freedom. Just as the president of this republic, to do what is required of him under the laws of this country. We are happy to compete with him, old as he is, with all the resources that he has accumulated, with all the repressive arm of the state, with all the civil service that he has indoctrinated and confused along the way. We are happy to compete with him. All we need and demand is the freedom to compete with him. When he goes to spread toxins in Bunyoro, where he is today, we demand for freedom to go and detoxicate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kubebaza okusooka okubeera naffe era tubakulisa olunaku lwajjo nammwe eri ab'amawulire terwabadde lwangu abammwagabanye ku mbuukuuli abantu baffe bangi abayise mu bulumi tubasaasidde n'abo abakyabuyitamu twagala kugumya bannayuganda ekisooka nti enkiiko zaffe zino zetuteekateeka ez'okwebuuza teziri bweru w'amateeka ziri mu mateeka ag'eggwanga amawandiike ne mu g'okutegeera okwa bulijjo okw'obuntu eri abo abasobola okutegeera naddala nga tetubannyonnyoledde ebbanga ddene. Bannaffe abakwatiddwa abaavuddeyo n'abakyaliyo tewaliwo musango gwabadde kubateekebwako nga nugasseeko ne be babadde baggalidde ne babata ekiro mu matumbi tewaliwo musango gwatubuuliddwa ne ku mpapula ez'akakalu ka poliisi tekuliiko musango guliko nti babadde bavunaanibwa kino. Byonna ebyakoleddwa poliisi n'amagye n'ebitongole ebitulugunya abantu nga byeyita ebikuumaddembe biri bweru w'amateeka. Buva ku ekyo bassebo ne bannyabo tuyimiridde ne bannaffe abakyali mu nkomyo n'abo abakyayita mu kulaba ennaku mu biseera eby'okusoberwa. Tujja kulwana okutuusa nga bonna tubamazeeyo nga buli muntu alina eddembe lye. Pulezidenti alina ebintu bye yeetaaga okukozesa okusobola okutereeza embeera eno ate naye yennyini okufuna emirembe gye tumanyi nti kati tagirina. Ekisooka kubeera w'amazima era nga mwesimbu. Ekyokubiri kukola abasajja abagezi bye bakola era n'ekyokusatu si kizibu. Twagala ddembe lyaffe. Tumwagalako ebintu bibiri. Buyinza bwaffe bwamaamidde n'eddembe lyaffe okubunona. Tetwagala atuyambe nti atuweekeko okugenda okutambula okutuuka mu State House. Akole bukozi ba pulezidenti abagezi bye bakola okulekera bannansi eddembe lyabwe tulyoke tuvuganye naye wadde alina amagye wadde alina ebitongole byonna ebya gavumenti byazaayonoona n'okukozesa obubi tulowooza nti akyali mu busobozi bwaffe okumuwangula. Twagala bw'asaasaanya obutwa nga bw'ali mu kusaasaanya ebunyolo olwaleero naffe tugende tubusaabulule. Bw'abanga mugezi ddala kubanga n'ebimu yabirimu akkiriza okuvuganya okw'obwongo. Enkiiko zaffe oba okwebuuza kujja kugenda mu maaso mu ngeri yaffe. Tujja kukola ebya bulijjo n'ebitali bya bulijjo kubanga tubimanyi bingi nga biri mu mateeka. Tujja kubikola. Tusazeewo tugoberera amateeka. Tetuli kibinja ky'abantu abakozi b'effujjo wadde tukoleddwako effujjo abasajja abakulu be twasuubiranga okubeera abantu balamu. N'obukwakkulizo bwe batuwadde obumu nga bumenya amateeka tebuli mu mateeka twagambye nabwo tujja bukkiriza. Omulimba omuwerekera paka ku luggi. President Museveni alimbye bannansi okumala emyaka 34 tumuwerekedde ne tumuggusa ku luggi. Kyova olaba nti olwaleero tubaanise ne batuuka n'okugamba nti n'enkuŋŋaana zonna kasita ziba nga zijja kwogera ku nsonga z'eggwanga ne bwe ziba mu maka gaffe nazo tulina okutegeeza poliisi ebeerewo. Tubagumya ebimu tebijja kusoboka. Baatuzinzeeko wano ne babba ebintu byaffe ne babba empapula ne babba epikipiki ezibadde ez'okukola emirimu gyaffe. Ebyo byonna tebitukanze. Tumaze ebbanga nga tulaba poliisi enzibi mu Uganda. Tesookedde wano bwe bagende wakiseka mu katale babba supu w'enkoko n'ebyennyanja ne bamuwuta mwabalaba ku TV nga tebaswala. So omuntu agenda mu katale nabba supu w'enkoko tosuubira nti ayinza okusanga kompyuta n'atagibba. Naye tugumya bannansi abatuwagira nti amawulire amakulu, ebintu ebikulu bye twetaaga bye babadde bayinza okuba nga banoonya mu kompyuta zaffe ne mu mpapula zaffe tebabisanze okuba tetubitereka tutyo, biri waggulu mu bbanga gye batasobola kutuuka kuba omulembe gwakyuka. Naye bw'obeera ng'olinga bannaffe bano, ekyo kiyinza okubeerera ekizibu okumanya amangu okuggyako nga tukikunnyonnyodde. Tusaasira abakwatiddwa, bakutte abantu baffe nga mulimu ne balooya baffe ababadde bagenza okununula abasibe. Shamim Malende gwe batulugunyiza ne bamukuba era ne bamuggalira, tujja kukola buli ekisoboka naye tumuggyeyo. Buli gwe banaggalira tujja kufuba, ne bwe banaatuuka ku nze asembayo kubanga nze nkulira ttiimu y'abalooya, tuli beetegefu. Guno omuzannyo twaguggyamu nga tumanyi ebirimu era twabyetegekera. Kama bakuume. Ebikoleddwa bannaffe abatusooka mu kisaawe ky'ebyobufuzi n'abo be tubadde tuwangaala nabo mu kisaawe ky'ebyobufuzi nga Comrade Right Honorable Amama Mbabazi ne bagenda mu kooti n'esalawo era gavumenti eno n'egaana okubigondera. Tetujja kkoowa, buli kkubo lyonna erikyaliwo tujja ddikozesa, naye ne bwe banaagaziba tujja kutema amakubo amalala agagenda okutuggusa. Erya kooti lyerimu kugo, erya paalamenti lyakubiri, ery'okwogerako n'abategeera boogere ne bannaffe bano lyakusatu, na buli kkubo eddala erinaasigala nga liggule oba nga liggulika tujja kuliggula okusobola okuggusa ensonga eno.
Thank you. Challenge is that we are dealing with a government which does not respect the law, which has no regard to the law. And we are saying, respect the law. We are telling Uganda Police, respect the law. We are telling President Museveni, respect the law. The law provides for a leveled playing ground. We are your opponents. We are taking you on and we are beating you at the vote in 2021. Accept that, respect the law, respect human rights. Let us do what is expected of us. With that, ladies and gentlemen, katukirize ebibuuzo bisatu kanchidde mu Luganda ekyo okukiriziganya ne bannange bonna. Obuzibu bwe tulina buli nti tuli mu kudiringa ne gavumenti etassa kitiibwa mu mateeka, etalabawo mateeka. President Museveni ng'ali mu kutalaaga yonna yonna ng'atambulira na mu luguudo wakati nga tewali ambulance, tewali sniffer dog, naye ng'atambulira mu kkubo wakati, tewali amulemeseza. Naye ffe agenze ne kuleva egamba nti tusobola kusinkana wadde mu nyumba zaffe. Sawa zino nga bwe mwawulidde Ajumani ekifo kyabadde enclosed naye ne bapoliisi ne basalako n'ebigenze enda maaso eggulu mubitegedde. Obuzibu bwe tulina ti gavumenti yaffe tewa amateeka kitiibwa, naye tubagamba muwe amateeka ekitiibwa. Abapoliisi muwe amateeka ekitiibwa. President Museveni wa amateeka ga Uganda ekitiibwa. N'obugambo obwo katusabe ebibuuzo nga bisatu abetunaddamu.
The events from yesterday's arrest to today. I'm really sorry, but it was on short time notice.
Thank you very much. We are on time. As you know, in Africa, we keep time.
Let us know what time we can keep it as well.
Yeah, but, you know, don't take me serious. We like to have some humor sometimes. We are here, first of all, very thankful to our friends, the media. As you know, our presidential consultations, we announced a while ago. We wrote to the Electoral Commission, and indeed the Electoral Commission responded to us, giving us stringent conditions, which we followed to the T, even though we disagree with them. We wrote to the police as required by the Public Order Management Act. Even though we disagree with the Public Order Management Act, we respected it and followed it to the T. We booked venues, which venues actually the police and other security agencies went and intimidated the owners. Glad enough, there was one priest that could not be intimidated in Gayaza who stood his ground and offered us a venue. Having arranged our legally sanctioned consultation meeting, We went there only to be blocked by the police, brutally arrested. Many people were beaten, live bullets were shot, a lot of tear gas, and a one-day-old baby almost lost life. We condemn that in the strongest terms possible. I myself and a few other leaders, including 3 members of parliament, were arrested and detained in Nagalama, while the rest of our colleagues, including our spokesperson, Mr. Joel Senyonyi, were arrested and are still incarcerated illegally at Kasangati police station. We continue to condemn that in the strongest terms possible. As you are all aware, according to our program, we are supposed to be in Gulu today. We are here to announce to the nation that we won't be able to proceed to Gulu for the reasons below. One, we got information from our advance team that the venue where we're supposed to hold our meeting has been surrounded by the police and the military. People are already being harassed and beaten. Some of the comrades that we've not been able to reach on phone, we are not sure of their fate as we speak. Yesterday at night, the police raided our offices here, stole our property, including papers and motorcycles. Fortunately, like the Honorable Segona said, they were not able to take our sensitive information because we hide it in the sky. However, the police having given reason that the Gulu venue was an open space, they, in their wisdom or lack of it, in my opinion, did not cancel the leader function. So we are here to inform the nation that we indeed will be proceeding with our consultation in Lira tomorrow. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you again for being part of us. Sounds like 2 questions in one. I will attempt the first one, and I'll ask Comrade Benjamin Katana to attend the second one. I am the MP of Chadondo East to begin with. Yesterday I was in my constituency, but unfortunately the police did not even have regard to that. We will go ahead and find means, legal means, of succeeding in consulting our people, because ultimately, just like my comrade Flavia said, our manifesto must have all the views of the people, and most importantly, the people of Chadondo East who are represented in Parliament today. Comrade Katana.
Thank you, Mission. It cleared us with guidance that we should notify the local authorities and police, which we did. And police, of course, came up with a number of conditions, some unreasonable, but we went ahead and satisfied them, like we have been informing the country from yesterday and today. But what is clear is that police is only using that as excuses. It is simply doing politics for Mr. Museveni. Police has chosen to participate as an active participant in political contestation on one side, which is unconstitutional, illegal, and unprofessional. So, in as far as our duties as organizers are concerned, we have satisfied everything. The additional things they have been coming up with, like sniper dogs and firefighting equipment, that relates to the duties of police. And that is the essence of the notification under the law, that when you notify the local police of the area, they should put in place things that will enable them to ensure that there is law and order and security. It is police that has the duty to provide security. It is not the duty of the organizer to bring sniper dogs. It's not the duty of the organizer to bring firefighting equipment, because the government, the people of Uganda, procured firefighting equipment, and it is in the custody of Uganda Police Force. The people of Uganda procured sniper dogs and maintained them, and the budget is managed by the Police Force of Uganda. So it is not only unreasonable, but also a lame excuse for police to expect the organizer of an event to be the one to provide these that we have already catered for through payment of taxes.
Secondly, we would like to assure all peace-loving Ugandans that there is no amount of pressure and intimidation that will stop us from going on with all our consultations. We know that the government is not interested in the consultations that are constitutional, but we shall follow the constitution, and there is no any amount of pressure and intimidation that will bar us from going on with all our consultations amidst all challenges.
Thank you very much.
Naye neteekamu akakwakulizo nti tulina okuwandiikira police ne local authorities. Ne tuwandiikira police network conditions, omwabadde okusecuringa venue, omwabadde okubeera ne ambulances n'ebirala. Byonna ne tubituukiriza. Naye lwakuba nti poliisi yasazeewo ebeere mu byobufuzi ate ng'eri ku side ya Mr. Museveni n'eteekako obukwakulizo obutali mu mateeka. Obukwakulizo obwo mulimu ebyaba traffic, mulina kubeera n'abaguidinga traffic. Ogwo mulimu gwa poliisi ate ng'Abannayuganda tubasasula omusaala okutuukiriza omulimu ogwo. Ne bateekamu tulina kubeera na zinembwa enkesi. Ezo twazisasulira dda, tusasula emisolo, poliisi yekoze eki yezirina. Ne bateekamu tulina okubeera ne firefighting equipment. Ebyo byonna biri mu budget ya poliisi. Ate ensonga lwaki bw'oba nga organizinga function ng'eyo owandiikira poliisi nga poliisi erina obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okulaba nti firefighting equipment bw'eba yeetaagisanga kweri, embwa enkesi bwe ziba zeetaagisa kweziri, aba traffic bwe baba nga beetaagisa kwebali, ate y'ensonga lwaki ffe twabawandiikira naye ne batakituukiriza. Naye lwakuba nti basazeewo okubeera ba byabufuzi ate nga bali ku side ya Mr. Museveni, babadde kubanga bafunayo lwekwaso, bafune excuse eyimiriza consultation zaffe. Naye kyetwagala kunyonyola Bannayuganda nti ffe byonna bye twalina okutuukiriza mu Bureau Electoral Commission gye yatuwa twabituukiriza, ebitatuukiriziddwa bya poliisi.
Doesn't have the mandate under the law, maybe under imagination, but not under the law, to set conditions for consultation. Section 3 is very clear on who does what. The role of an aspirant is to notify, to write and introduce himself as an aspirant to the Electoral Commission. The second is to notify the local authorities, and in this case we are talking about the local councils. The third is to notify the local police. We interpret this to mean the OC of the area, to mean the DPC of the district, looking at the nature of the consultation. Now, and that is under the Presidential Elections Act, if you want specifics, Section 3. Now, of course, that doesn't take away compliance, the requirement to comply with other national legislations, including the the acrimonious Public Order Management Act. Now, with respect to the Public Order Management Act, the requirement is for us to notify the Inspector General of Police, which we did. Then we shift the burden to the IGP and his team. They call them authorized officers, and it seems now every Tom, Dick, and Harry is an authorized officer for purposes of blocking these consultation meetings. Now, when we notify the police, do not require me to carry out that risk assessment. I pay somebody to do that. What a reasonable, right-thinking member of the police force would do is to write to me or to ask me for a meeting to agree on the traffic plan, to share with me the security concerns, if any. Does it not touch him? It touches the rest of us. Are we inherently criminal to the extent that you must require me to bring a sniffer dog, which is a specialized function of the police? Maybe they are trying to make and extort money out of us, by indirectly asking us to hire their sniffer dogs. We're happy to know the price. We're happy to know the cost for the sniffer dogs, since everything in Uganda police is for sale, including guns. We've had the hire guns out. So we are happy. We are happy to share with them and know the cost, and we shall pay. With respect to Section 10, Section 5, those are procedural provisions. And if they want us to discuss the procedures, we're happy to discuss with the procedures, but they do not invite us. In this particular case of Kasangati, they invited us a night before. We went and agreed. It is them that decided to backtrack on their suggestions. Is there anything else? There are no numbers. Now, do you criminalize me for having many supporters? No. I am entitled to have as many supporters as possible, and you cannot criminalize my meeting because I have many supporters. I am entitled to consult. By the way, mark the language used in the Presidential Elections Act, to carry out nationwide consultations. Thank you very much. Ntekwa kwebuuzaako era etteeka terikkiriza akakiiko ka byakulonda kumbuulira abantu bameka benyina kwebuuzaako, era mbasangawa mu kisaawe mu bikaali. No, etteeka teringamba bwe lityo. Lingamba kutegeeza akakiiko, twakategeeza, kutegeeza abakulembeze ba bitundu LC, twabategeeza, kufuna kifo, twakifuna, kutegeeza Inspector General Police ng'etteeka ly'enkuŋŋaana bwe liri, twamutegeeza. Buvunaanyizibwa bwe okutuyita n'atugamba nina bye njagala twogereko mu ntambula, tugenda kutambula tutya, ebyokwerinda bigenda kubeera bitya bwe biti, n'atubuulira pulaani ye. Naye toŋŋamba kupangisa mbwa za poliisi, kirabika kye baagala. Kuba bamanyira okupangisa emmundu, kati baagala n'embwa tozipangise. Baagala munnansi abeere ne fire brigade, which is a department of the police. Tetunnaba kuzuula magezi mu ekyo, era ebimu tetujja kubikola. Ebikoleka tujja bikola, naye tetujja kutandika kutendeka mbwa ez'okukola ebyobufuzi. Tetujja kutandika kubeera na fire brigade. After all, ffe tetuteekateeka kuwukya kintu. If they are planning as an arsonist group to burn houses and buildings so as to require fire brigade, then they should come with fire brigade and extinguish their own fire. We have no intention of lighting up anything.
Thank you very much for coming to hear us out today, and we thank you very much for always reporting objectively. This marks the end of our press conference. For God and our country. People power, our power, people power. Yeah.